Well, where have we ended up? Look, it's Wash Park. Wash Park in Denver. This beautiful space of 160 acres was created in 1899. It marked the centenary of George Washington's death. Well, that's about all we need to know about Wash Park. Are you ready to practice? Let's set out our mats. What a beautiful day. Are you ready to start our practice? Find a seated position, cross-legged or on your knees, whichever you prefer. Let's take a few moments just to breathe. Begin to open up the lungs, finding our breath. Let your eyes close down and breathe in. And just let the breath flow out. Feel the breath as it flows in. And then experience the breath flowing out. The breath flowing in. And the breath flowing out. About 5 more times like that. Staying with the flow of the breath. And a couple more. And one more beautiful cycle of breath. You feel settled now? I forgot to tell you what I thought we would do for our practice today. I feel like I've been running around a little bit, moving a little bit faster than I really want to. And when that happens, I always turn to a practice that I call slowing down. Because for obvious reasons, we're going to slow way down. So in this practice, we move almost in slow motion. The intention is to slow every single movement down to the point where you become deeply aware of every single movement, every breath in and out, and every single movement of the body. I think you'll like it. If you haven't done this practice with me before, make your best effort at slowing way down. Before we do that, let's begin alternate nostril breathing. So I usually teach this without mechanically blocking the nostrils. But if you feel like you want to block one nostril and then the other, feel free to do that as well. Let your eyes close down. Now breathe in equally through both nostrils. And then breathe out through both. Do that one more time. Breathing in through both nostrils. And breathing out through both. Now breathe in through the left nostril only. And breathe out to the right. Now breathe in through the left nostril only. And then breathe out through the right nostril. And then breathe in through the right nostril. And breathe out through the left. We'll do that again. Breathe in through the left nostril. And breathe out through the right. And then breathe in through the right nostril. And breathe out through the left. About 3 more times at your own pace. Breathing in left and breathing out right. And then breathing in from the right and breathing out to the left. And twice more, again at your own pace. Just feeling more and more grounded, more and more centered with each cycle of alternate nostril breathing. What a beautiful day it is here in the park. And then once you exhale to the left, breathe in equally again through both nostrils, bringing everything back to center. And then exhale through both. Start slowing down. Do that one more time. Breathe in through both nostrils. And breathe out through both. Let's begin our slowing down practice on our back. So make your way to your back now. Now reach your heels to the sky, finding legs up the wall pose, and then begin to bend the knees and come into happy baby pose. Soles of the feet reaching towards the sky. Now move your left hand to your right foot so both hands are on the right foot. Straighten the left leg and slowly bring that left heel all the way down to the mat. Reach the toes forward, then reach that left leg all the way back up to the sky. Bend the left knee and back to happy baby pose. Now bring the right hand to the left foot so both hands are on the left foot. Straighten the right leg and slowly bring the right leg down. Keep pointing to the toes of the right foot. Let the heel land, and then slowly lift that straight right leg all the way back up, and then bend the right knee, finding happy baby pose. Release from happy baby pose now. Reach the heels to the sky. If you like, plow pose, bringing the toes up and overhead, touching down on the floor behind you. When you're ready, bring your tailbone back down to the mat and back to legs up the wall pose. From there, bend your knees. Keep the soles of the feet together, but bring the knees apart. And then bring your knees back together. Moving slowly and deliberately, bring the feet to the mat and gently lift your hips into bridge pose. Take a breath. And then let the breath go. Bring the tailbone to the mat. Once your tailbone lands, hug the knees in and bring your forehead towards the knees, around the spine. Now release your head, reach the heels to the sky, point the toes. Now the arms come out to a T and then bend your knees. Let the knees flow to the right. Your gaze can shift to the left. Knees float slowly back to center and over to the left side. Let the knees float to center again and over to the right side. And slowly back to center and to the left side. One more time. Knees to center and to the right. And then back to center and over to the left. Pause. And then bring the knees back to center. Reach the heels to the sky, legs up the wall pose. Now happy baby pose. See if you can pull your knees down a little bit more. And release the hands down. Reach the heels to the sky and point the toes. Now pull the toes down towards your face. Let the feet come back to a nice neutral position. You can stay here in legs up the wall pose or bring your toes up and overhead, touching down on the floor behind you, or in my case, the grass, into plow pose. And when you're ready, slowly, almost in slow motion, bring the tailbone down to the mat, back to legs up the wall pose. Now bend the knees, bring the soles of the feet together, knees come apart. And the knees slowly move back together as you bring the soles of the feet to the mat, preparing for our second bridge pose. Press the hips high and bridge. And breathe in and out. When you're ready, release your tailbone. Once the tailbone lands, pick the feet up off the mat, arms out to a T, knees to the right, and then let them float slowly over to the left. 2 more times, knees back to center, and then floating slowly to the right, and then knees back to center, and slowly floating to the left. We're going to do that one more time. Knees floating back to center, and to the right, and then the knees slowly float back to center, and to the left. Inhale those knees back to center. Bring the arms down by the side. And slowly make your way to a seat. You can keep your eyes closed down if you like, cross-legged position. Now slowly bring your left ear towards your left shoulder and feel the stretch on the right side of the neck. Let your head come back to center, and now right ear moves towards right shoulder. Feel the stretch. Let's just flow side to side. Try and keep your shoulders nice and level, just letting the head move from side to side. When you're ready, bring your chin to your chest. And on an inhale, lift the chin high. If you like, open your mouth. Feel that great stretch in the jaws. You open your mouth. And exhale, close the mouth. Bring the chin to the chest, hands to the knees, round the spine. Bring your forehead down towards the mat. And slowly in slow motion, rising up. Once you're up, let your arms float up and overhead, reaching the hands to the sky. Interlace the fingers, reach the palms towards the sky. Seated palm tree pose. Roll back on the sitting bones, draw the navel in. Now the arms out to a T. Left hand down, right hand reaching. Slowly up. Right hand comes down, and now the left hand reaches. Inhale and rise. Left hand down, right hand reaching. Inhale and rise, and bring the right hand down. And reach with the left hand. Feel that great stretch on the left side body. Come all the way up. Left hand down, right hand stretching. And inhale, and right hand comes down as the left hand reaches. On inhale, rise all the way back up. Reach the arms high. Now bring your hands to heart center. Take a deep breath, and as you exhale, chin to chest, round the spine, and bring the forehead down, touching the forehead to the mat or the grass. Draw the navel in now as you rise, still hands at heart center. Reach the arms high. Now bring the arms out to a T. Bring the hands behind you and interlace your fingers behind your back. Feel the shoulder blades coming together on the back. Now press the palms into the mat, releasing the hands. Lift your chin high, press your chest up towards the sky, and then release the hands, reach them high, and exhale the hands out to a T. Now take a twist to the right, left hand to right knee. Take a deep breath in, and on the exhale, pull your right shoulder back a little bit more towards the back of your space. Do that again, deep breath in, and exhale and twist. Now let it go, slowly back to center, moving again in slow motion in this practice, hands to heart center. Now seated palm tree pose, interlace the fingers, press the palms up towards the sky, and then release the hands. Bring them behind you a second time, interlace the fingers, palms touching if you can. Take a deep breath. And now exhale, release the hands, bring the palms to the mat, lift the chin high, press the chest up towards the sky. Now bring your weight forward so the weight comes off the hands, let the arms float all the way up and overhead, and exhale the hands out to a T. Let's take our twist to the left this time. Right hand comes to left knee, left hand down behind you. Fingers on that left hand pointing to the right if you can. Breathe in deeply. On the exhale, twist. And then release. Back to center. Arms reach up. Now bring the hands down in front of you. And then roll over the knees and come to all fours. Make sure your hands are under your shoulders, hips under the knees. Inhale to cow pose. And then exhale to cat. Do that again. Inhale to cow pose. And a big exhale to cat, bringing your chin to your chest, pressing your hands into the mat. And again, inhale to cow. And exhale to cat. Press the hands deeply into the mat. And now press back towards child's pose with the hands on the mat. Rise. Glide the hips forward and down. Now keep the hands where they are. Press back towards child's pose. Feel that great stretch in the back. Inhale, rise back up through table pose. Pressing the hips down and the heart forward. And rise back up. Press into the hands, tailbone pressing towards the back of the mat. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, come back through table pose one more time. Press the hips down. Let the ears rise up as the arms are straight. Now look to your left. And then look off to the right. Back to center and over to the left again. And back to center and to the right. Back to center. Back to table pose. Now walk the hands back under the shoulders. Stay grounded in both hands. Pick the left knee up and then point the toes. Reach that left foot straight back. Right hand reaches forward. Table extension pose. Now elbow towards knee, moving slowly and reaching back out. Inhale. Bring elbow towards knee, spine round. And exhale and stretch it out. Let's do that one more time. Elbow comes towards knee. And exhale and reach it out. Now bring that right hand down to the mat. Then bend the left knee. This is tiger pose. Lift your chin. See if you can lift your left knee a little higher. And then straighten that left leg. Bring the left leg all the way around to the left. The leg stays straight. And then bend the left knee and bring it down so it meets the right knee. Let's go over to the other side. Right foot reaches back, left hand reaches forward. Table extension pose. Elbow comes towards knee. And reach it out. Inhale and bring elbow towards knee, rounding the spine. And exhale and reach out. One last time on this side. Elbow comes towards knee. And exhale, stretch it out. Lots of length. Now bring that left hand down. Bend the right knee, point the toes on the right foot, lift your chin, tiger pose. Now straighten that right leg, press through the right foot, bring the right foot all the way over to the right, so it's out 90 degrees, and bring the right knee to the mat. Good work. Now tuck your toes and lift your hips. Let's find our very first downward facing dog. Press the hands into the mat, reach the tailbone up and back, and breathe. Now glide forward to plank pose. Now bring the knees to the mat. Press back towards child's pose. Just one breath. Now slowly begin to rise and then tuck your toes and lift your hips. Let's find our second downward facing dog. Lots of length in the spine here. Press the heels to the mat. Now glide forward, plank pose. Now over to side plank. Reach the left hand high, right hand stays down. And left hand down, right hand reaches as we roll over on the pinky toe side of the left foot. Bring the right hand down, we're back to plank pose. Now either knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. And then roll over the toes, downward facing dog. On an inhale, reach your right leg high. See if we can lift it up a little bit higher. Really stretch it up. Now very slowly, bend your right knee. We're moving almost in slow motion. Now we're going to step the right foot forward between the hands, nice and slow. Right foot down, runner's lunge. Pause. Now bring the left knee to the mat. Untuck the toes on the left foot. Reach the arms high. Low crescent lunge. Remember to press that right knee forward. Feel that great stretch in the top of the left thigh. And then bring your hands down so you frame the forward foot. Tuck the toes and bring your left knee off the mat. Right foot steps back slowly to plank pose. Now knees to the mat. Chest and chin follows, moving into Cobra Pose. Take a breath, and on the exhale, come all the way down. Then tuck your toes, push to plank, and lift your hips high. Downward facing dog. Good work. On an inhale, reach the left leg high. Point the toes. Lift it up a little higher, and then step the left foot forward. Nice and slow, moving in slow motion. Step the left foot forward between the hands and the right knee to the mat. Slowly rise, reach the hands high, press that left knee forward even a little bit more. On your exhale, bring the hands slowly down to the mat. Tuck the toes as the right knee comes off the mat and step the right foot forward into a standing forward fold. This may be our first standing forward fold in this practice. Let your head drop down and just breathe. Now the arms out to a T. Rise with a nice long spine, reverse swan dive. Reach the arms high, and then exhale the hands to heart center. Breathe. Now reach the arms slowly back up and get a hold of the right wrist with your left hand, side stretch. Press that right hip to the right, most of the weight in the right foot. Come back to center and go to the other side. Right hand gets a hold of the left wrist. Press the hips to the left. Then inhale and slowly rise back up. Now release the arms out to a T and then to heart center. Take a breath. Now reach the arms high and out to a T and bring the hands behind you. Interlace your fingers behind the back. Hinge at the hips and slowly come down. Again, very slow movement. Reach the knuckles high, forward if you can. Weight into the front of the feet. Now bring the arms out to a T and down to the mat. Rise to a half lift, spine nice and long. Exhale and let the head reach down towards the mat. Now step your left foot back. Nice slow step into runner's lunge. The left hand stays on the mat now. Right hand reaches high. Lunge twist. Now very slowly bring that right hand down. Bring it inside the right foot. Revolved lunge twist. Left hand reaches high. Now bring the left hand down so both hands are inside that right foot and come down to the elbows. We're moving towards lizard pose. You can stay up on the toes and with the left knee off the mat, or you can bring the left knee to the mat, untucking the toes on the left foot. Let that right knee move off to the right. Walk back up onto the hands, tuck the toes, left knee off the mat. Right hand comes to the outside of the right foot. Slowly step your right foot back to plank pose. And now knees to the mat, chest and chin follows, Cobra Pose. Lift the heart up. Nice deep back bend here. Take a couple of breaths. And when you're ready, release all the way down. Tuck the toes. Push to plank. And then lift your hips high. Downward facing dog. Take a breath in downward dog, and on an inhale, lift your left leg high. Stretch it up. And then step the left foot forward so it ends up between the hands, coming to runner's lunge. Press back on the right heel. Now leave your right hand on the mat. Reach the left hand high. Lunge twist. With control, bring the left hand down inside that left foot. Reach the right hand high. Revolved lunge twist. When you're ready, slowly bring the right hand down. Again, moving almost in slow motion. As we move towards lizard pose, come down to the elbows. Stay up on the toes, or bring the knee to the mat and untuck the toes. Either way. You can let that left knee move to the left a little bit if you like, feeling that wonderful stretch in the hip on the left side. Slowly walk back to the hands. Move that left hand outside the left foot, and then step the right foot forward, forward fold. Standing forward fold at the front of the mat. Now take opposite elbows. Press the elbows down towards the big toes. Spine long and slowly rise. Come all the way up. And bring the elbows up and back, a little back bend. Press your hips forward, and then reach the elbows high. Release opposite elbows, and bring the arms out to a T, and then to heart center. Take a breath. Now step the feet apart, toes wider than the heels, bend the knees. Let's come down to a yoga squat, malasana. Elbows to the inside of the knees if you can. Spine nice and long. Now stand up, reach up and out into star pose, and then exhale and come down to a yoga squat. We're going to do that 4 more times. Inhale, rising, reaching up and out to about a 45-degree angle, and then exhale and slowly come down. 3rd time, pressing into the heels, rising up, reaching out, star pose, and hands to heart center, elbows to knees as we move down to the squat. Now bring the hands down to the mat. Lift your tailbone high, heel toe the feet back together, standing forward fold at the front of your mat. Let your head drop down. Bend the knees a little if you need to. Now bring the hands behind you and interlace your fingers behind your back. Reaching the knuckles forward if you're able to, if the mobility in your shoulders allows. And then press into the front of the feet and slowly come all the way up. Once you're up, pause. Press the knuckles down towards the heels. Release the hands now. Reach them high. Palms together and bring them down to heart center. Take a breath. As you exhale, step the left foot back into warrior 1 and reach the hands high. Bend that right knee. Toes on the right foot pointing forward, toes on the left foot pointing to the upper left corner of the mat. Hands come behind you, interlace your fingers. Great shoulder stretch. Now hinge at the hips and very slowly come down, bringing the right shoulder towards the right knee. Arms reach up and overhead. Let your head drop down. Look behind you. Humble warrior pose. Release the hands now. Bring them to the mat and then straighten your right leg as we move into pyramid pose. Here, lots of length in the spine, reaching the top of the head towards the big toe on the right foot. Feel that great stretch in the back of the right leg. Now arms out to a T, press into the whole right foot and slowly rise. Now the arms reach up and overhead. Back to warrior 1, bending that right knee. Now bring your hands to heart center, bring the weight into the right foot and step the left foot forward. Reach the arms high, out to a T, and swan dive. Beautiful swan dive into a forward fold with the weight in the front of the feet. Come to a half lift, hands to the top of the shins, right below the knees. And exhale, fold forward, bring the hands down to the mat. Step back with your left foot, followed by the right foot, stepping into plank pose. Now Vinyasa, either knees, chest, chin, or Chaturanga Dandasana, upward facing dog for the first time in our practice. And when you're ready, roll over the toes, downward facing dog. Lots of length in the spine. On an inhale, bend the knees and hop forward. Standing forward fold, arms out to a T, slowly rise, reach the arms high, and exhale the hands to heart center, pressing the palms together. Now take a step back with your right foot, right heel comes to the mat, left knee bends, warrior 1 towards the front of your mat. Now bring the hands behind you and see if you can interlace your fingers in the awkward way, straightening the elbows and bringing the shoulder blades together on the back. Now hinge at the hips and fold forward, letting your head drop down. Maybe bringing that left shoulder to the left knee. Look behind you. When you're ready, release the hands slowly. Bring them down on either side of that left foot. Straighten the left leg. Pyramid pose. Lots of length in the spine. When you're ready, arms out to a T. Press into that left foot. Lots of core strength as you rise. Now reach the arms high, bend the left knee back to warrior one. Take a breath. As you exhale, bring the hands to heart center and step the right foot forward. With your hands still at heart center, hinge at the hips and fold forward. Bring the hands all the way down to the mat. Come to a half lift. Spine parallel to the mat. And then fold at the hips. Step the left foot all the way back. Left leg stays straight. Press into the right foot. The right knee is bent. And rise to a high crescent lunge. Reach the arms high. Then as you exhale, the arms are going to come out to a T. Reach the hands apart from one another. Take a twist to the right. Find a lunge twist. Left elbow to right knee. Palms together. Right elbow stacking over the palms and the palms stacking over the left elbow. Stay with it and breathe. And then slowly rise. Reach the right hand back. Left hand forward. Back to center. Arms reach high. And on the exhale, bring the hands down on either side of that right foot. Now press your hands into the mat. Reach the right leg all the way up and overhead, straightening the right leg. And now bring knee towards nose, rounding the spine, bending the elbows if you can. Nice slow movement. Slowly in slow motion, reach that right leg back up. And then exhale, second time, knee comes towards nose, rounding the spine. Slowly reach back up. Reach the right leg high last time on this side. And then bring knee towards nose, bending the elbows if you want a little bit more out of the pose, and then reach the right leg all the way high. Nice and slow movement, and step the right foot forward between the hands. Pause and spin the left heel to the mat, and rise warrior two. Right knee stays bent. Keep pressing that right knee forward. Feel the engagement in the quadriceps. Gaze over the extended right hand. And when you're ready, extended side angle pose. Bend the right elbow, bring it to the knee. Reach with the left hand. Notice the long straight line from the fingertips of the left hand through the pinky toe that's anchored into the mat on that left foot. Now slowly rise back to warrior two, still feeling engagement in the quadriceps. Now left hand down, right hand reaching up and back, reverse warrior pose. Keep pressing the right knee forward. Now rise, straightening the right leg, reverse triangle pose. Press into that right foot. The arms now come out to a T. Press into the left foot and reach the right hand forward. Stay anchored in the pinky toe of the left foot. Right hand down, left hand reaches high. This is Trikonasana, triangle pose. Spine is nice and long. You can look up towards the beautiful sky if you're outside like I am. And then slowly bring that left hand down. We're coming into a version of pyramid pose again. Keep pressing through that left ankle. Spine is long. Now bend the right knee. Then pivot on the right heel. Find a wide-legged stance. Left hand presses down. Right hand reaches high. Wide-legged twist. Right hand comes down. Now put it where the left hand was. Reach the left hand high. Twisting to the second side. Now bring the left hand down. Nice, slow, gentle movement. Bring the elbows to the mat. Now if you want to, if your forearm's on the mat and this is within your practice, forearm stand or headstand. Bring the feet up off the mat. Something to play with. Only if it's within your practice. When you're ready, bring your feet apart. Slowly bring them down to the mat. Rise back so your spine is parallel to the mat. Left hand down, right hand reaches high, twisting to the right. And to the other side, right hand down, left hand reaching high, twisting to the left. Now bring the left hand down. And pivot on that left heel. Find runner's lunge towards the back of your mat. Step the left foot back to plank pose and flow through a vinyasa, either knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, then upward facing dog, elbows straight. Now roll over the toes, lifting the hips slowly into downward facing dog. Lots and lots of length in the spine. On an inhale, the left leg is going to lift up. Now slowly bend that left knee and then step the left foot forward so it ends up between the hands. Rise, high crescent lunge. Remember, if you feel a little wobbly here, heel toe that right foot to the right a little. Now the arms come out to a T, take a twist to the left. Now right elbow to left knee, join the palms into our lunge twist. Remember to stack the left elbow over the palms over the right elbow. Spine is long, the neck is long. Slowly rise, and then come back to center. Once you're there, reach your arms high, and then bring the hands down on either side of that left foot. Now reach the left leg all the way up and overhead. Lift the leg high. Press the right heel down towards the mat, then bend the left knee. Bring it towards the chin or the nose. Moving in slow motion again. Reach the left leg high. And exhale. Slowly bring knee towards the nose. Bend the elbows if you want. Reach the left leg all the way back up. This is the last one. I know it's a lot of effort. Knee to nose. And then kick the left leg all the way high. When you're ready, step that left foot forward so it ends up between the hands. Spin the right heel to the mat and rise to Warrior Two towards the back of your mat. Left knee is forward, or left foot rather is forward, left knee is bent. Let's find extended side angle pose, reaching with the right hand. Anchor into the pinky toe of the right foot and rise. Warrior Two. Now right hand down, the left hand reaches up and back. The left knee is still pressing forward. This is a reverse warrior pose. Straighten the left leg. Bring the arms out to a T. Now anchor into the pinky toe of that right foot and reach the left hand forward as we move towards triangle pose on our second side. Left hand down, right hand reaching high. Trikonasana. You can look up to the sky if you like. Now slowly bring that right hand down. Come up a little bit on the ball of that right foot. And bring your forehead down towards the shin or the ankle of that left leg. Big stretch on the back of the left leg. Now pivot to our wide-legged stance. Bring your head down to the mat if you can. Bring the right hand to the right foot, left hand to left foot. Let your head drop down. The spine is nice and long. Now the arms come out to a T as we rise with a nice long spine. Now reach the arms forward and rise, deep core engagement. Now bring hands to heart center, pressing the palms together. Now the arms come out to a T. Pivot on that right heel, bend the right knee, Warrior Two back towards the front of your mat. Settle into the pose, and then cartwheel the hands down on either side of the right foot. Come up onto the ball of the left foot, right foot steps back to plank pose. Take a breath. Now roll over into the pinky toe side of the right foot, leave the right hand down, reach the left hand high, side plank pose. This time reach the left hand up and overhead with the palm facing down. Pick up that left foot if you want and stretch. Left hand down now, right hand reaches, side plank on our second side. Pick the foot up if you can. Reach with the right hand. Now bring the right hand down and flow through a vinyasa, either knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga dandasana, upward facing dog. And on the exhale, tuck the toes and lift the hips, finding downward facing dog. Stretch it out. When you're ready, begin to bend your knees. Slowly bring the knees down to the mat, then bring them wide, big toes touch as we move into child's pose. Now just enjoy a couple of breaths in child's pose. When you're ready, come up to table pose, and from there, walk the hands forward. Oh, look, I found a little flower. Come all the way down to the mat, laying down prone on the mat. Bring your hands behind you, arms long and by your side, palms facing down. On an inhale, half locust pose, the lower half. So pick the knees and the feet up off the mat. Point the toes towards the back of your space and breathe. Notice the lower body rising and falling with the breath. When you're ready, release. Cheek to the mat. Just breathe. Now bring the arms out to a T with the palms facing down. And slowly lift the upper body off the mat. The chest, the arms, the head. Breathing in, feel the body rise. And breathing out, feel the body fall just a little bit. When you're ready, release. Come all the way down to the mat. Now bring the hands behind you, interlace your fingers behind the back, and on inhale, rise into a full locust pose, interlacing the fingers, pointing the knuckles towards the heels. Breathe in deeply. When you're ready, exhale, release the hands, bring them out to a T. Keep breathing and then sweep the arms forward. Point the toes towards the back of your space. And then bring your hands down by your side. Let your head come down. 3 beautiful breaths. And one more. Slowly walk the hands back so they come below the shoulders. Tuck the toes, push to plank, and lift the hips. Downward facing dog. Good work, everybody. Now bend the knees. Take a nice hop so the feet end up between the hands. Let your head drop down, standing forward fold. Now bend the knees, reach the arms high, come down into chair pose, Utkatasana. Weight comes into the heels, spine relatively long, so try not to overarch the low back. Now tipping bird, come up onto the toes, and reach the hands back. Back to chair pose, heels press into the mat, and then exhale the hands to heart center, palms pressed together. Take a chair twist. This time to the left, right elbow to left knee. Spine is long, and then back to center. Reach the arms high, chair pose. And tipping bird, bring the hands behind you, arms are straight, come up onto the toes. And then exhale the heels down, reach the arms high, and then to heart center. Take our chair twist to the right side, left elbow to right knee. Notice how the spine stays nice and long. Back to center. Now reach up. And a little back bend. Weight into the front of the feet. Keep the hands to heart center. Take a deep breath. And exhale, letting the breath go. Now reach the hands forward, bend the knees. This is ski racer pose. I know we're not quite in season. Now bring the palms to the mat, straighten the legs, lift your hips high. Feel that stretch in the hamstring muscles. Let's do that a second time. Bend the knees, then reach the hands forward, reach the tailbone back, spine nice and long. Hands come to the mat. Press the palms into the mat. Lift the hips high, straighten the legs, let the head drop down. Now bend the knees, all the way down to a seat. Once you're seated, bring the soles of the feet together into Cobbler Pose. And then with your spine as long as you can, hinge at the hips and slowly come forward. That will create a big stretch in the inner part of the thighs, the outer part of the hips. Slowly come back up, again moving in almost slow motion. And then pick the feet up off the mat. Keep the soles of the feet together. This is our floating Cobbler Pose. Oops, little bobble there for me. Spine lengthens. Now butterfly pose. Bring the arms under the legs. The elbows press into the back of the knees. Palms press into the top of the feet. Notice how the spine is long. Now if you want, the hands can come to the heels and you can lift your feet up a little higher. That'll increase the stretch in the top of the legs. Now peace fingers to big toes. Heron pose. Spine is long. Straighten the legs to the extent you can. Maybe you can point the toes a little bit here, reaching the forehead towards the big toes a bit. When you're ready, bring your feet apart. Just a floating splits. And then slowly bring the soles of the feet together. Now bring the knees together. Straighten the legs. Boat pose. Reach the hands forward. Now bring the arms out to a T with the palms facing up. On an inhale, reach the arms high, interlace the fingers. Point the index fingers now, arrow mudra. Point the toes and straighten the legs a little more if you can. And then slowly bring the heels to the mat. And as you exhale, fold forward over the extended legs. It's a seated forward fold. Lift the hands up. Reach up to the sky. And arms out to a T. Bring the hands down by your side. Now bend the right knee and bring the sole of the right foot to the outside of the left thigh. This is Merici Asana. Twist to the right, bringing that right hand down behind you. Notice the fingers on the right hand are pointed to the left and the palm is pressing into the mat. Breathe in deeply and let your spine get long. And as you exhale, twist a little bit more to the right if you can. When you're ready, come out of the pose. Let's find the other side. Sole the left foot to the outside of the right thigh. Your twist is to the left. Hug that left knee in. Press the right heel forward. And look over your left shoulder. Breathe in. And on the exhale, you can twist a little bit more deeply if you're able. And slowly come out of the pose again, moving almost in slow motion. Now bend both knees. About 90 degrees, reach the hands forward, palms facing up. And now very slowly, again, almost in slow motion, roll down to the back. You're going to feel deep engagement in the core as you do this. And eventually, let the shoulder blades come down and then the head. Once you're there, reach the heels to the sky and then into plow pose if you like. Toes can touch down on the grass behind you if you're outside, as I am. Now, if you want, lift the legs up so the feet are over the hips into a shoulder stand. This is a supported version. Maybe lift the hips and feet a little higher. And when you're ready, if you like, bring that right foot down. Keep the right leg straight. Touch the right foot to the floor. Lift it back up, and the left foot comes down. And lift that left foot back up into shoulder stand. From there, bend the knees, and then slowly bring the tailbone down to the mat. Now bend your knees, soles of the feet to the mat, preparing for bridge pose. Feet press into the mat, lift the hips high. You can interlace the fingers behind your back if you want. Try and bring the shoulder blades a little bit closer together on the back. And always feel free to move into wheel pose if you'd like. Optional in my classes, but certainly available to you if you prefer it, or as a supplement to bridge pose. Release from wheel and bridge. Then hug the knees into the body. Bring the forehead towards the knees. Spine rounds deeply. Then release the head. Reach the heels to the sky. Arms come out to a T. Now cross the right leg over the left leg. Scoot your hips to the right. And bring that right knee down to the mat. And gaze off to your right. A supine twist. Try and soften the back of the right shoulder so it rests on the mat. And just breathe. When you're ready, back to center. We'll cross the left knee over the right this time. The hips move to the left as the knees move to the right, and the gaze is to the left. Just a couple of beautiful breaths in and out. Slowing down. Now bring the hips back to center. Cross your right ankle onto your left knee. Interlace your fingers behind your left leg and hug that left knee in as you push the right knee away. So figure 4 in a supine position. Now go over to the other side, bringing the left ankle to the right knee and hugging the right knee in towards your body as you push the left knee away. Supine figure 4 on our second side. Now begin to release that left ankle. Reach the feet up to the sky, legs up the wall pose. Now point the toes very, very slowly. Keep your legs straight. Really in slow motion. Bring the feet all the way down to the mat. You can take 10, 15, 20 seconds or more, coming all the way down. Eventually, let your heels land. Once the heels land, let's find Shavasana. Bring your arms out a little bit, flip your palms so they face up, let your toes flop out. Now just enjoy the fruits of your practice. Let your eyes gently close and begin to bring awareness to your breath. Following as the breath flows in and as the breath flows out. Enjoying the wondrous flow of the breath. Constantly moving, slowly flowing. In and out. Keep your awareness on your breath. Just observing it. Just noticing the gentle flow. Stay with your breath. If you'd like, you can begin to practice alternate nostril breathing, but without mechanically blocking the nose. So leave your hands by your side. Breathe in from the left nostril and slowly let the breath flow over and out the right nostril. Then breathe in through the right nostril. Let the breath flow out of the left nostril. Breathing in and breathing out. Feeling the breath moving almost in slow motion, supporting our effort to slow down just a bit, not to rush, just to relax, just to feel the movement of the breath. Nothing more complicated than that. Flowing from side to side, from one nostril to the other. Alternate nostril breathing. When you're ready, begin very slowly to bend your knees and then roll to your side. You can cradle your head in your arm if you like. Let your eyes remain closed down. Just feel the gentle flow of the breath. And when you're ready, come to a seat. Once you're seated, bring your hands to heart center. and namaste. Have a great day, everybody. Take care.